Hey guys, this is Ranch here, Premier of Commentary. This is going to be the second set between Midas and Jaedong in the quarterfinals of the Hana Daetoo MSL 2010. Still the spring season, guys. This is going to be on Triathlon. 3-player map here at the 7 o'clock position in orange, as the turn player is going to be Midas. That means at the 5 o'clock position in yellow, Zerg is going to be JD. Who, wow, look at those sleep lines. Dear God, that man did not have any sleep last night. Wow, that is just awful to look at. That is just awful to look at. Oh man, oh man, oh man. But anyway, Jaedong is leading this 1-0, and after an absolutely awesome first set, I'm really looking forward to see what these guys bring in the second one. A really, really awesome game by both players. Midas with a really creative M&M into mech build, starts off with M&M, and really turned out well for him. Unfortunately, couldn't quite manage to capitalize, despite having what I believe was a fully upgraded mech ball. He did not quite manage to utilize it well enough to beat Jaedong. Jaedong managed to control the pace of the game despite that and got himself to victory. So damn nice play for both players, though. So really look forward to see what they managed to bring on this funky map today. This funky map, Triathlon. Jaedong might even decide to go for 3-hatch build against the third player on this map. It's much safer than on many other maps. You can get in there, sneak yourself that first base inside your own base. A 12-hatch, very easy to get 12-hatch inside your own base. While it's a little bit more risky for a turn player, simply because if your opponent goes muted, which is not rare at all, Jaedong is actually going to put on a natural expo at his own, put up his natural expo below the ramp, so he can doesn't box himself in or anything of the sort. Also, just so he can send out his overlords, and instead of not having to go past the location, so he can click the minerals with his units. On the opposite side, we do see a very quick refinery coming in here from Midas alongside his barracks to wall off. So we're probably going to be seeing some sort of mech to start off. Might be going in for some sort of early vulture harass. We're going to see what it manages to do. Vulture harass, of course, these days not as good against Zerg players because they always put down the sunken at the front the minute they spot the fact that mech is coming in. And unfortunately for Jaedong, he's not scouting his overlord in the right direction, so he's going to be forced to get a drone out there to get a scout. We're going to see what he manages to do. He did put up a very early hatchery, so he's going to be able to transition into a third hatch fairly quickly. We're going to see exactly what it is. The first factory is going to be on the way now for Midas. And apparently he's just going to thinking of expanding off that, only mining gas with one receiver right now, so just one factory. Probably going to transition into, maybe transition to M&M. We're going to see exactly what it does to do. We'll probably need to put down some sort of anti-muta defense, because this is what Jaedong generally does, and it's also very good. We're already on the way now. It's also a very good idea on this map. I'm actually going to do some syncing now, as that was not possible earlier. 00, 301, 302. So muta is a very good thing to do, just in case the turn player tries to expand beyond those eggs without taking them down, because then you're going to get yourself in quite a bit of trouble. There he sneaks the CV past. Going to put down the base safely there. But yeah, this exactly right. What he's doing here is a very risky thing to do, because if Jaedong is going to go for mass mutas right now, just going to go for a muta build, 2-base mutas, then he's going to find that location in an extremely risky position. Drone actually now moving up for Jaedong. So instead of interesting, this is very interesting. Instead of actually going for that base inside of his own main, he's going to sneak an expansion here at the 6 o'clock. This is definitely something Midas is not going to be expecting. So when Midas go out to scout, he's definitely not going to be ready for this. SCV come off the line. Starport now on the way for Midas, but we're going to see what the SCVs come. 2 SCVs going to come off the line to repair the supply depot, make sure that nothing comes through. And I don't see any single Marine out there, so Midas not even getting a single Marine to defend. Just the fact that those Zerglings were able to attack the supply depot without any resistance, right away gives Jaedong an inkling of what's going to happen. Sees the Vultures inside the base. He actually floated up the barracks, and the Zerglings came up with a Vulture. A Vulture can handle a small group of Zerglings fairly easy, but so as long as you just patrol micro it a little bit. Sunken Colony coming in at the front, but Jaedong still getting at 6 o'clock down, and I really don't think Midas is going to be able to spot that for quite a while. He's actually going for Wraiths and getting an armory alongside. She's going to go with some Wraith out there, maybe just do some overlord harassment. There's Overlord, meanwhile, has spotted this, so he's going to try to run for his life, because he knows that whatever's coming out of that, the fact that the Wraith is coming out of that starport is going to mean death for him. But we're going to see whether Midas actually tries to transition some sort of Valkyrie build here, going for some mass anti-muta, maybe go for Valkyries, because alongside turrets, really the best way to defend that base at the lower left-hand corner that he took up beyond those eggs are turrets and Valkyries, because you're not going to have anything on the ground. You might also go Wraith, but I'm not altogether too sure. You might want to have cloaking Wraiths toe-to-toe. Can have a hard time facing off against Midas, because usually the Midas will quite outnumber by quite a bit, so getting those Valkyries out there is a much safer bet. Control tower going to come down, and the armory comes up as well, so we're going to see whether the next thing that comes out of there is going to be a Valkyrie just to defend against that. Against those Midas that might be coming away. There is a Spire up now, and Wraith Mule going to go in there, try to pick off a second Overlord, might manage to do this, so this is a little bit of a harassment that Midas going to manage to accomplish. Second Overlord going to go down, so definitely nice harassment here for me. Some supply blockage going to be coming in here against Jaedong. Also going to expand, meanwhile, at that 3 o'clock position. That is absolutely insane. Turrets now coming up, Goliaths on the ground. So that's what the armory's for. We're going to see, wondering whether we're going to see Valkyries alongside or not. Some Scourge out there as well, being ready just to pick off what I assume to be Valkyries coming out of that starport. So Muta's also coming up now for Jaedong, and Midas still does not know about the 6 o'clock position, does not know about the 3 o'clock position either, but I think it's a very critical factor. You can assume that the 3 o'clock position will come up eventually. Oh man, I don't know why the second Scourge didn't hit, just stopped right in front of the Wraith, so that's kind of funky. Gonna be forced to run that Wraith to the safety of that Goliath, see what the Goliath manages to save its life, and Goliath managed to get one shot off, but not gonna manage to do much else. And just a couple of Goliaths down there on the ground. Probably going to be seeing some more turrets. And there is a Valkyrie coming out. Valkyrie going to go right towards the lower left-hand position to defend against Midas. Should be some turrets there as well, because one Valkyrie is not going to get it done. Couple of turrets, third one on the way. Actually, 2 Valkyries. Never mind, there was a Valkyrie there. Okay, 2 Valkyries alongside several turrets. That should get things done as long as the Valkyries don't get hit by those Scourge. Midas is going to come in there. Valkyrie is going to force those Midas back instantly, so that's not going to accomplish much. Midas with a fairly good defendable position. But unfortunately for Midas, Jaedong is getting a huge economy, going to get 4 gas going, and Midas still has no idea, and he's not going to have an idea for a while until Jaedong manages to build up a huge force, manages to build up his economy really strong. Then Midas is going to have, oh crap, why does this Zerg guy have so much? He's really going to surprise him, but with this, he's going to be forced to play very defensively. He has 3 Valkyries out there so far, maybe he's getting more, but he's going to be forced to play very defensively, so now very anti-air defense. He's also going to try to pick up that natural expo for himself at that 9 o'clock position. And meanwhile, just going to go along that side of that Wraith, and those Valkyries just going to try it too. Oh, going to lose that Wraith though. Whoops. Stopped it, tried to pick off, but should have actually run them down to the safety of turrets or Goliaths instead of doing what he did. But hey, getting it Wraith picked off. Not as serious, but still you want to keep those units to do some anti-air stuff. Scourge also out there for Jaedong, so they're going to be able to help him out against those Valkyries as long as they don't become too much in number. Jaedong going to expand beyond the eggs at the upper left hand. He's just picking off a lot of risky bases, but at the same time they're not a huge risk because Jaedong knows, actually Midas just moving out across the ground right now with some Valkyries and some Goliaths, but he knows that there's nothing really to contest him on the ground aside from those Goliaths, so if he just takes expansion, he should be able to defend them fairly safely. Some of them Scourge. Oh, one Scourge managed to land, and the Valkyrie does some decent amount of damage, so might want to get an SCV out there to expand. Jaedong going to move yet another drone out there to expand again. So he's going to just try to massively out-expand Midas. Midas is going to have his 3rd base up soon, but not really soon enough. He doesn't really have much in the way of units at all. Just have some Goliaths out there, put up his 3rd refinery, his 3rd factory. He does not have any army out there so far. So Jaedong's just going to slowly macro up like crazy. Might just switch up into mass Hydras, get some lurkers alongside, and win that way. Has Carapace 1 on those Mutos. Definitely necessary against those Valkyries out there. Also going to expand at the 2 o'clock position. His base at the upper left hand almost ready at this point, and he's expanding like absolute crazy. This is madness. This is madness. No, this is Spartan. I'm sorry. Muto's going to come in here, going to prevent one turret from coming up. Bunch of turrets that are ready, and Valkyrie's coming in just in the nick of time. Going to get a bunch of burst off. This is going to be a trap. It's a trap. Armalog Bar says it's a trap. Scourge coming in here. 1 Valkyrie goes. 2 Valkyries go down. 1 heavily damaged. Oh, man, this is what happens when you don't listen to Admiral Akbar. Oh, God. Oh, those Wraiths, Valkyries. Oh, my God. All the Valkyries are gone. Turrets now the only thing, and oh, Midas is this is gonna be in a lot of trouble now. No turrets up there. Muta's gonna be able to do a hell of a lot of damage. He's gonna be forced to pull back. Beautiful position there for absolute beautiful position there for Midas. Just now taking down that Arbiter, and those eggs still invisible. Just something he should have done ages ago. So he's not going to be able to do much at all against this. Jaedong is putting up bases everywhere. He's also now denying Midas one of his 3 mining bases. Midas just not going to find us to take some of those eggs out, but still, his bed is absolutely horrible position. If he floats that command center up, those Scourge are going to land